Hey, good afternoon, good evening, all. This is Naresh. Hope you are following my videos on the YouTube and the LinkedIn. So, and in the previous videos, I have been talking about different table format uh, called the Iceberg, Delta Lake, and the Hoodie, right? And recently, Snowflake announced that they are going to support the Iceberg tables in with the Snowflake, so that we can create the Iceberg tables in our data lake, or and then those table can be referenced in the Snowflake, and they can be queried in the way the Snowflake internal tables are queried. And also, the performance of these Iceberg tables is on par with the Snowflake internal tables. So that raised interesting architecture patterns, like the this allow the data architecture to have the data sitting on their in an S3 bucket, but the Snowflake is able to read those S3 bucket data and query in such a way that very efficiently its internal tables. So that will make the your architecture data platform or architecture is more decoupled, you in a such a way that you are not having an you don't need to have dependency on the storage of the Snowflake. You can simply use the Snowflake as a compute engine, and you can store your data in your data lake in a different object storage. So before we go into those details, let me start from the basics of the Iceberg so that we get a sense of it. I'm going to do a couple of videos on this, maybe a two or three. I'm not sure how many I will make it, but I wanted to start from the basics and till how we can create the Iceberg tables in the Snowflake and query it. So in this video, I'm going to show you a quick introduction about the Iceberg tables that I have explained in previous sessions, but I'll again show it one more time so that we will get a feel of what is the Iceberg tables, and then we can go over this agenda. Like in this agenda, I will first create a glue table with the Iceberg table format, and the second one is I will create an Iceberg tables in the Snowflake that uh, po- reading the data that is sitting on our data lake AWS S3 in an Iceberg table format. And other thing is, like, we are going to create a Snowflake tables using the Athena glue, and we will reference those tables in the Snowflake and query them. So these are the three different use cases we'll see in live in action with all the configurations we required to make it work. So having said that one, let's jump into the actual demo for this today. So Iceberg tables. So Iceberg is an open table format. We all know, right? So we have seen that Iceberg have three different layers. If you see that left side of this diagram, you see that it has three different layers. One is a catalog layer, one is then a metadata layer, and the third one is a data layer. So this catalog layer can be anything, like it can be an a REST service, or it can be any JDBC, or it can be any Glue or Hive, AWS Glue or Hive Metastore. What is this catalog is this catalog is about storing a table or database name to the metadata file, metadata layer. It's a pointer to the metadata layer where the metadata files is existed. So that information will be stored in this Iceberg catalog, and this can be JDBC or Glue catalog, Hive Metastore, anything we can use it. And the second layer is the metadata layer, where whenever we do an updates on the tables or inserts onto the tables, it will always create a new metadata file that's about this metadata file. And when we insert the data into the table, that's it's stored in the Parquet file, right? That is what this data layer. So if we have to map these to the file system on our AWS S3 objects on AWS S3, this is how it will look like. So in when I've implemented this on the AWS S3, I have used the Glue as my catalog because that's a managed service provided by the AWS, and I used an AWS S3 bucket, and inside that S3 bucket, I created a table and I stored the data. When I stored the data, this is how the directory structures under the table name is get storing here. It is having two files. One is the data files and metadata files. So these data files is a data layer, and this metadata is a pointer to the metadata layer. So this is the left side is the logical representation of the iceberg tables, and the right hand side is a physical representation how it will be in live or in actions. There will be a catalog, and there will be a metadata folder and data folder. Metadata folder contains the metadata, and the data folder contains the actual Parquet files that host the tables data. So having said that one, let's get into the log into the AWS and create some tables and see if we can query the tables. So having said that, I'm in my AWS Athena. Athena console. I logged into my AWS. I'm in the US Ohio region. I created. I'm here. I've created a database using the standard Athena queries like the create database, and I name it as a Snowflake Iceberg DB. And inside that, and I'm trying to create a data tables with a name called the client Iceberg. So where I have the three columns, and I'm saying that this table data is going to store the data in this location. So when I insert the data into this table, all the data Parquet files is written under these directory structures on the AWS S3. And here I mentioned the table format as an iceberg and the file format as in a Parquet. And I have inserted two rows into this one. So when I inserted these two rows into the this table, it's inserting the Parquet files into it's creating a data in this form of the folders. Inside this one we have the Parquet files, and you have the Parquet file. So here if you see that we have the two folders, right? Let me go and do one more insert here and see if it is going to create a new files directory structure in it. So I'm going to do another one. So let me go and see this one. So I'm just inserting this another row. So yeah, time in queue, it's running, yeah, it's completed. So if I come here, earlier we have the two, right? Now if we do the refresh, it is going to create a new folder. It's created the new folder. And also whenever we did an insert, it will create a new file. So this is what, like the 4:38 p.m. So it just created the new metadata files under the metadata. So this is how when you created tables in this Glue catalog using an Athena, it's storing the data on a AWS S3 location, um, in this location, and then we have the we are inserted the data, and that's created all these folders, actual data where the data is stored in the Parquet file. So so we'll stop here, so that in the next video what I will do is I will try to uh, create a table in the Snowflake, and we will try to read this table whatever we created here. We will read that table from the Snowflake and see if we are able to query this table data and find that information in the uh, uh, snow information on the able to query these tables from the Snowflake. Thank you for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed, you liked the video. Thank you. Bye bye.